있어요 모두 보고 싶었어 우리도 어쩜 이렇게 시간이 안 가는지 정말.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back to my video again. In this video, I want to tell you about a story. The title is Unchecked. Before that, let me to introduce myself first. My name is Mustika, but just call me Tika. My student identification number is 210-53162. I'm from Faculty of Economic, majoring Economic Education, Padang State University. This is a traditional story from England. As is often the case with stories from England, the hero is a boy called Jack. Jack was in love with a pretty girl in his village. He was poor and so was she, but he was sure they would be happy together. He dreamed that with lot of hard work and a little luck, one day they would live in a nice big house and have lots of children. On a fine morning, he went to ask the girl's parents if he could marry their daughter. He knew that the girl was listening at the door to the conversation, the words beside her future. She could hear him pop the question to her mother. Mom, I want to marry Annie, and she wants to marry me. Will you give the go ahead, Mom? Would be the happiest lad in all of England if you agreed to asking his hand. But however careful the girl was listening at the door, she could not catch the answer. Her mother said nothing. She just stared blankly at Jack with her glassy eyes. It was hard to know if she had even understood the question. Well, Mom, I suppose you don't have to speak out loud, said Jack. Just a no will do. At last, after a long stony silence, the woman spoke in the fact she scared. Husband, come here, right now. This good for nothing boy without a penny to his name wants to marry our daughter. A moment later, the father grasping a wooden spoon in his hand appeared from the kitchen. How dare you want to marry our daughter when you haven't got any money? Come here, you little whippers upper, and let me tap your on the head with the wooden spoon, and maybe I shall pass some manners into you. Jack, having sweetly decided that he did not want to be tapped on the head with a wooden spoon, departed via the open window and ran through the garden and down the road as fast as he could. Eventually, when he reached the safety of some woods, he leaned against a tree and said to himself, I shall catch my breath, then I shall carry on running into the world until I find some work, and I shall earn some good honest money. And then after about a year, I shall return to my village and I shall marry Annie, and then we shall live as happy ever after as Cinderella and Prince Charming. And so he put his plan into action. He kept on running until he found an old widow who was gathering for her fire. He stopped to help her pick up the stick, and she said to him, You are a helpful lad. If you come to work for me and prove yourself to be an honest lad, I shall pay you fairly. Why, thank you, Mom, said Jack, who agreed right away to work for the widow. He did everything she asked of him, including chopping wood, fetching water, lighting her fire, scrubbing her kitchen, feeding her hens, and milking her goat. But the most important task of all was to look after her donkey, called Kemi, whom he soon learned had a very special secret. Every morning, he had to pull out Kemi's ears Then the donkey said, "Ew!" Lifted up his tail and popped up 6 gold coins. The boy collected the gold coin, washed them under the palm, and gave them to the old widow. Jack worked honestly for the old lady for an entire year until one day he said to her, "Mom, if worked honestly for 1 year and done everything you asked of me, and now it is time for me to return to my village and marry the lazy I love. Will you be so kind as to pay me fairly as you promise you will?" He was hoping that the old lady might give him just one of the gold coins that her donkey pumped out every morning. The widow locked him up and down and said, "You have indeed proved yourself to be hard working and honest. I am old and I have enough gold coin to last out the rest of my days. You can have my magic donkey so that you and your sweetheart shall never lack for money." "Why, thank you, Mom," exclaimed Jack. And the best of spirit, he ran to the stable to collect Kemi, the magic gold pop donkey. He sat on the donkey's back and set off in the direction of his village. Alchemy was not the speed of animal. When Jack saw that the sun was setting and the sky was turning red, he stopped for the night at an inn. After all, he would have no trouble paying now that we own a gold popping donkey. "I'll have the best room in the house," he said to the innkeeper, "and send up your best food." The innkeeper looked at the boys and saw that he was young and had an air of poverty. Then the boy pulled the donkeys, or the donkey said, "Ooh!" lifted his tail and popped out 6 gold and silver coins. The boy picked up the coin, washed them under the palm, and returned to the inn where he paid for everything he had asked for and more with a silver coin. The innkeeper showed the boy to the best room in the house and promised to lodge his donkey in the stable and to feed and water him. Unfortunately, honest was not the innkeeper's stronger suit. That night, he swam the boy's magical donkey for his own, who looked very similar. In the morning, the boy hid off to his village without noticing the swab. He was so excited that he rode straight to the house of the girl he loved and knocked on the door. When the father opened up, the boy said, "Good morning, sir. I have returned to ask once more for the hand of your daughter in marriage. But before you tap me on the head with a wooden spoon, let me explain that I have worked hard for 1 year. And I now possess a miraculous donkey to pop gold and silver coin. If I marry any, I promise that we shall never lack for money." "Well, no, a donkey who pops gold and silver coin. I have to see this," said the father, reaching for his reading crop. "I'm happy to demonstrate," said the boys. He returned to the gate post and pulled the donkey's ears. "Ew," said the donkey crossly, but he did not put any gold or silver. "Come on, Alchemy," said the boys. "This is no time to be constipated." And he pulled the donkey a second time. "Ew," said the donkey, who was not called Alchemy and didn't like having his earth pulled. In fact, he belonged to the innkeeper and was called Barrel. Jack went around the back of the donkey and pulled his tail. This was not his best idea. The donkey kicked with his hind and caught the girl's father his heels. "Oh," said Jack at the man who was now rolling on the ground holding his bloody nose. I don't suppose I'll be marrying your daughter today. I think I'll be off now. And he ran out of the village at fast and he let Wolf carry him. After he had run along, well, he came across a carpenter who was making a table. "Excuse me, sir," said the boy, "can I work for you?" The carpenter agreed to give him a change. As long as the boy worked well and honestly, he would pay him fairly. "Thank you, sir," said the boy. "What shall I do first?" The carpenter asked him to go and fetch some wood. The boy continued to work hard, cleaning and fetching and delivering furniture. His most important job was prepare the carpenter's meals, which was easy to do as he had a magic table. All the boys had to do was go to the kitchen and say to the table, "Table, my master has been sewing and hammering all day, and he's hungry." And in an instant a wonderful meal would appear on the table. After the boy had worked for a year, he said to the carpenter, "Sir, I've worked for you honestly for 1 year and do everything you ask of me, and now it is time for me return to my village and marry the apple of my eye. You be so kind as to pay me fairly as you promised you would." And the carpenter agreed that the boys had worked hard and proved himself to be an honest lad. He gave him a very special wedding gift. "You and your sweetheart need never worry about going hungry. You shall have my magic table. After all, the wife wants me to make a bigger table that will fit all my family and my friends." "Why, thank you," said Jack, and he went to the kitchen to fetch the magic table. He set off for his village, but it was easy carrying it on his back, and he went slowly. Toward evening, he reached an inn where he decided to rest for the night. The innkeeper asked him what he would like to order for supper, and the boy replied, "I don't need to order any food. I can provide myself with a 6-course meal." The innkeeper saw the boy take the table up to his room, and he was curious to see how he was going to feed himself. Peeped out the keyhole of the room. He saw the boy and addressed the furniture and said, "Table, I've been carrying you on my back all day, and the walk has made hungry." Immediately, a scrumptious meal appeared on the table with raw bread, butter, chicken liver paste, pisan fish roast, potato, carrot, green beans, chocolate cake, and lemonade. "Well now," thought the innkeeper, "if I had a wonderful table like that, I could sack my cook and never have to buy any food again. I could feed my whole village, charge a fortune at the inn, and never pay a penny. My need for such a table is clearly greater than the lad's." And so, when Jack was fast asleep, the innkeeper crept into his room and swept the magic table for an ordinary one. Jack rose at the crack of dawn, picked up the table, left the inn, and headed off to his village, eager to win the hand of his sweetheart. He went straight to her house, where he met the girl's mother. "Good morning, Mom. I have come to ask once more for permission to marry Annie," said Jack. "And what makes you think I will change my mind this time when you are just a poor, scrubby, and as good for nothing as you were on the last 2 occasions?" "Because," said Jack, "I have a magic table that will be covered in food anytime I give the word." "Oh," said the mother, "that's why they call of you Jack liar." "I'm not a liar. and then he went outside the fridge. The table which her place down in the middle of the parlor. "Good morning, table," he said as the mother looked on with her glassy expression, less eyes. "I'm feeling rather peckish. I think it's time for breakfast, don't you?" But the table was not the magic one. It was a table from the inn that smelled of split beer. "Table," said he, "first start when we need food now." But still nothing happened. "Magic table, my food," exclaimed his sweetheart's mother. "You are lying, Scrandle, get out of here before I beat you with this rolling pin and never darken outdoor again." Jack, who did not fancy a beating with the rolling pin, ran off as fast as his leg could carry him. Eventually he came to a stream where a man was trying to build a bridge. Jack helped him by climbing up a tree and pulling it down across the stream so that it bent over onto the opposite bank. The man thanked Jack for his help, saying that an honest lad deserved an honest reward. He took out his knife and cut off stick for him. Then he gave the stick to Jack, saying, "Anytime anyone give you any trouble, just say, 'Stick beat my enemy,' and it will do the job for you. You need never put up with any dishonest or bad person again." "Why, thank you kindly," said the boy, who took the stick and hid back in the direction of his village. On the way, he came to the inn where he had stayed 2 years early. He went inside and found the innkeeper, who asked, "Can I do for you?" "Give me back alchemy, my magic money making donkey," demanded the boy. "Are you accusing me of being a thief?" demanded the innkeeper. "Get out of here before I throw you out, you are lying scoundrel." "Well, see about that," retorted Jack, and spoke to the stick, saying, "Stick, I need your help." And when the innkeeper saw the stick fly out of the boy's hand and point at him threateningly, he grew very afraid of the boy's wizard and agreed to let him take alchemy from the stable. In the best of spirits, the boy rode on the next inn, where the stick's son persuade the innkeeper to hand over the magic table. Now the boy was ready to return to his village in triumph, but he didn't head straight for his sweetheart's house. Instead, he went to his parents, where he showed them his wonderful gold and silver popping donkey and his magic table that was filled with food. As soon as he gave the word, but he did not tell a soul about the magic stick, then would punish his enemy. The word soon got around that Jack had returned home with some powerful magic, then had made him very rich. Now all the family with daughters want him for a son-in-law. The parents visit her house every day, offering to give him their cows, their pig, and all their money if he would marry their daughter. But he turned them all away. The only people who did not believe the story about Jack's magical charm were Annie's parents. Everyone has lost their minds believing this crazy story. We alone know that a smileless liar but voice is, said the mother. Tonight, Annie wept tears, and when they landed on her pillow, they turned into diamonds in the morning. Jack visited the house and to ask once more for her hand in marriage. As soon as Annie's parents saw the lad and their garden gate, the father rushed out brandishing a hammer. "Stick, Tiffany!" cried the boys, and when the father saw the stick fly out of the boy's hand and come for him, he ran back straight away into the house and bolted the door. "What are you afraid of, husband?" demanded his wife, but the man was too petrified to speak a word. "Oh, well, a woman's work is never done," said his wife, taking her mop and planning to give the boy a beating. But it was not long before she to come running back into the house. Meanwhile, Annie was watching Jack, waving to him from her window. Jack brought a ladder so she could climb down, and of course, she broke the diamond tears in her apron pocket. That afternoon, they went to the crock to be married. When Annie said, "I do the donkey," who was standing outside the garage, put and now gold and silver coin for all the villagers to have a present. After the ceremony, Jack set the table out on the village green, and it produced a wonderful banquet, including a white wedding cake, and everyone ate their fill. And then Annie and Jack bought a big house on the hill and lived as happily ever after as Cinderella and Prince Charming. And Jack was always honest, generous, and kind, and was never again so naive as to let anyone steal his wonderful possession.